Just messing around with the old Mega Drive, and one of the things I just wanted to look at was probably one of my favorite games of all time, and that was Strider, made by Capcom. This is actually the Mega Drive version right here, and this was a big game. Now, the thing about it was, I remember going back, I think I was about high school, not high school, but I was actually junior high when this game came out. And I came back from a long summer vacation, and of course I was jonesing. I had to go back to the arcade, so I went to my neighborhood arcade. And the arcade owner, you know, I basically lived at the arcade. I was just like a fixture at the arcades when I was a kid. So I go there, and I knew the owner, and he was like, "Hey, check this game out. This brochure." You know, he had an insider kind of like industry magazine, and he kind of let me peek at it. And back then, Capcom was really coming up. You know, they had this basically was the time of the CPS-1 arcade architecture that ran many of their games. Before that, you know, games kind of looked like Gunsmoke, and they looked like their early games like 1942 and stuff like that. So the CPS-1 was running games like Forgotten Worlds and Ghouls and Ghosts, and he showed me this brochure, and it had Strider, and just from the screenshots, I just couldn't believe how awesome this game looked. It was just insanely good, you know, and that was like a big moment. I was like, wow, this is really revolutionary as far as games, arcade games were concerned, and yeah, Strider was one of those games. So this was a huge hit in the arcades, and probably one of the best designed games ever, period. I mean, the level design, the character sprites, everything about it. So this was like a dream game. To me, this was on par with Street Fighter 2. So this Mega Drive right here, this amazing machine, which I loved, Sega announced that they were going to bring out a port of Strider. How could that be possible? You know, this game was state-of-the-art. This was a CPS-1 arcade game. This was state-of-the-art, and this is little Sega Genesis was going to bring that game home, and boy, they did it really well. At first it was announced it's going to be 6 megabit, and you might laugh now, but that was a lot of memory. But Sega went all out and decided to make the game 8 megabit to try to make the game as faithful to the arcade as possible on their 68,000 based Sega Genesis Mega Drive. And boy, it came out awesome. I mean, it really, really came out very, very good. And to this day, I can play Strider on the Mega Drive or the Genesis, and right up against the arcade version. Right up against the arcade version, have no problems at all. It was just a stellar achievement for Sega. It's a reprogrammed game. It's not made by Capcom. It's actually reprogrammed by Sega. That's one thing you have to understand about a lot of these games. So it really came out good. I understand now there are superior versions on the X68000, but you know what? We never got that in the U.S. You know, so we had to play it on our Sega Genesis. I think this is just one of the most remarkable home conversions ever. I mean, it just was really well done, and just wanted to share that and share my love of Strider, because it really is good. It's good to this day. I play it, you know, at least once, twice a month, and try to go through the game. So, really a great game. So, all you guys who have arcade PCBs and stuff are lucky enough to have this game, you know, keep it, hang on to it, because it's really incredible. So, thanks for watching.